If not, on this vote, the yeas are 97, the nays are 1. 2/3 of the senators voting, a quorum being present, having voted in the affirmative, the bill on reconsideration is passed, the objections of the President of the United States to the contrary notwithstanding.
Mr. President.
The Majority Leader.
We have order in the Senate.
We'll have order in the chamber.
Today gives us the opportunity to move forward with legislation despite the President's veto. I deeply respect the President and the reasons that he has given for vetoing the Justice Against Sponsors of Terrorism Act. But I urge my colleagues to move swiftly and soundly to reverse this veto so that these families can have their day in court. That is what the legal system of this country is designed to do. These families will never get back their loved ones, but they deserve justice and a day in court, and that is why we will today, I hope, override the President's veto. 15 years after that tragedy, we are still learning the facts, but there is mounting evidence that the Saudi government, or at least organizations and operatives within the Saudi government, aided and abetted one of the most massive crimes in the United States. In our system, the truth behind those facts deserves to be presented in court. A court of law where fairness and justice will be assured. This measure does not prejudge a verdict or issue a judgment. It gives both sides a fair day in court. And if the Saudi government had no involvement in 9/11, it has nothing to fear. But if it was culpable, it should be held accountable. That is the basic principle of this measure.
I've read President Obama's veto message, and it's not persuasive. That's because it described a bill that doesn't exist and misrepresents the state of the law. He cites concerns that the bill would, quote, create complications, close quote, he says, with some of our close partners. But the truth is, JASTA only targets foreign governments who sponsor terrorist attacks on American soil, plain and simple. I don't know how that would create complications with some of our close partners. The financing of terrorism in the United States is not behavior we should tolerate from any nation, allies included. How can anyone look at the families in the eye and tell them that they shouldn't have the opportunity to seek justice against a foreign government responsible for the death of their loved one?
Aye. Mr. Heinrich. Aye. Mr. Hatch. Aye. Mr. Bozeman. Aye. Mr. Whitehouse, aye. Mrs. Feinstein.